before you decide that no one was ever listening, give me these few minutes and let me tell you the truth about your prayers. I know what you have started to believe. You have begun to think that the words you prayed went up, hit the ceiling, and slid quietly back down to the floor. You have decided your prayers were lost. Let me tell you plainly, not one of them was. I heard every single word you ever brought to me, including the ones you could not finish. So set down the ache for a moment and breathe slowly, and let me speak to the part of you that stopped expecting to be heard. You almost kept scrolling past this. Your thumb was already moving. And yet, here you are, still listening. Maybe that is not an accident at all. Before we go one step further, hear this clearly, because honesty matters more than comfort. What you are about to receive is an encouragement drawn from the Bible, a reflection offered in faith. It is not a private revelation. It is not a prediction, and it is not a guarantee of any particular outcome in your life. It is simply the timeless comfort of the Scriptures, read gently over you today. And there is one verse I want to stand everything on tonight, because it speaks straight into the silence you have been living in. It comes from the book of Psalms, the 66th Psalm, verse 19. Listen to the words slowly and let them land. But verily God hath heard me. He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Read that again in your heart, one line at a time. God has heard me. He has attended to the voice of my prayer. Not ignored, not overlooked, not left to fall into an empty room. Heard. This is not a wish, and it is not a maybe. In the Scriptures, this is the relief of someone who was certain they were praying into nothing and then discovered they had been heard all along. And tonight, that same ancient comfort is being spoken over you. So let these words come to you the way the Bible speaks them, as if the Father himself were leaning close to your heart and saying, "My child, I heard you. I heard the prayer you prayed when you thought the line had gone dead. I heard the one you whispered through clenched teeth when you were too tired to even believe it would matter. You thought you were speaking into silence. You were never speaking into silence. I know the lie that has been forming in you, slowly, over a long time. You prayed once and nothing changed. You prayed again and still nothing. And somewhere along the way, you began to wonder if anyone was on the other end at all. The silence felt like a closed door. It felt like rejection. It felt like being turned away. But hear me now and hear me carefully. Silence was never the same thing as absence. The quiet you mistook for being ignored was not me walking away from you. A heart can be fully heard and still be waiting. A prayer can reach me completely, and the answer can still be on its way. You confused the silence with rejection, and they were never the same thing. When a child cries out in the night, the parent who hears does not always answer in words, and the parent who waits a moment is not the parent who is left. So it has been with you. The quiet you heard was not the sound of an empty house. It was the patience of one who was very much still there. So let me draw a line tonight between two things you have tangled together for far too long. There is being heard, and there is getting the exact answer you asked for. They are not the same. I am not telling you tonight that every request will be granted the way you pictured it. I am telling you something the Scripture says with certainty, that the voice of your prayer reached me. You were heard. Every word, every tear, every ache you could not put into language. The answer is one thing, and being heard is another. And tonight, I want you to know beyond any doubt that you were heard. I want you to think of the prayers you are sure I missed. The ones you prayed in the car, with both hands on the wheel and tears blurring the road. The ones you prayed at 2 in the morning into a dark ceiling when the house was asleep and you were not. The ones that were only a name, repeated over and over because you had run out of any other words. You thought those slipped through the cracks. You thought those were too small, too messy, too repeated to matter. None of them slipped through. Not one of them was too small. The prayer you could not finish. The sentence that broke off into crying. I understood every word you did not say. And to the one listening who has prayed the same prayer for years, this is for you. If you have prayed for the same person over and over and watched nothing change, this is for you. If you have prayed the same desperate request so many times that the words feel worn smooth, this is for you. If you have begun to feel foolish for praying it again, this is especially for you. You were not foolish. You were not wasting your breath. You were heard every single time. The repetition you are ashamed of, I never grew tired of it. So if you are listening tonight with a heart that has gone quiet from disappointment, this is for you. If you stopped praying out loud because it started to feel like talking to an empty room, this is for you. If you still pray, but only out of habit now, with no real expectation left, this is for you. And if you have one prayer you are almost afraid to pray again, because you cannot bear to be disappointed one more time, this especially is for you. You do not have to pretend you still have strong faith. You do not have to perform belief you do not feel. You only have to know this one thing tonight. You were heard. You have heard a voice, haven't you? A quiet voice that has been speaking over your prayers for years. It speaks in your own tone, so you assumed it was simply you being realistic. It tells you that your prayers do not work. It tells you that if anyone were listening, things would be different by now. It tells you that maybe you are not the kind of person whose prayers get heard. And in the silence, it reads your unanswered requests back to you, one by one, as proof that no one is there. My child, hear me. That voice is a liar. It does not speak for heaven, and it does not speak for the one who made you. So tonight, when that old voice begins its familiar speech, answer it with the truth. When it says no one heard you, the truth says, God hath heard me. When it says you prayed into nothing, the truth says, He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. When it says the silence meant rejection, the truth says, silence was never absence. You do not have to win the argument with that voice. You only have to stop agreeing with it. Let me tell you something about the waiting you have been doing. You have called it being ignored. But waiting and being ignored are not the same. Beneath the surface, in the places your eyes could not reach, things have been moving that you could not see. Like a seed buried in the dark soil that looks like nothing at all, right up until the morning it breaks through. What felt like silence was sometimes patience, holding back what you were not yet ready to carry. What you called a delay was not the same as a denial. They are not the same thing. Sometimes the kindest answer to a prayer is not yet. And not yet is the hardest answer of all to hold. But not yet was never a closed door. It was never the sound of being ignored. Now hear me say something carefully, because I will not lie to you to comfort you. I am not promising you that the answer will come the way you want it. I am not handing you a date or a guarantee or a version of the future where everything goes the way you picture it. What the scripture promises, and what I can say to you with confidence, is that you were heard. Being heard does not always mean getting the answer, but it always means you were not alone in the asking. And that, tonight, is the truth I want you to carry. You were heard. The voice of your prayer reached me. Now, I know you may not feel any of this yet. Feeling comes slowly when a heart has been disappointed for a long time, and that is all right. The truth does not wait on your feelings to become true. You were heard, whether you feel heard or not. The hearing does not depend on the feeling. These words were written down long before you were born, so that they could reach you long after your hope had gone quiet. So let me say it again, gently, the way you may have needed to hear it for years. You were heard, not half heard, not heard and forgotten, heard, held in mind, and answered in ways you may not yet see. The world has taught you to measure a prayer by whether you got what you asked for, but that is not how heaven measures it. A prayer that reaches me is never wasted, even when the answer is still hidden, even when the answer is no, even when the answer is wait. You did not pray into the dark. You prayed to the one who was listening the whole time. I want you to think back for a moment on the prayers you have already forgotten you prayed. The small ones, the desperate ones, the ones you prayed years ago and stopped tracking. Some of them were answered so quietly that you never even noticed. Do you ever wonder how you came through certain seasons at all? How a peace showed up on a night you had every reason to fall apart. How a door opened that you had stopped knocking on a day you no longer expected anything. The scriptures would say that was not chance. That was prayer, heard and quietly answered in ways you were too tired to see at the time. You have been heard far more often than you have noticed. And let me speak gently to the comparison that has been stealing your peace. You have looked at other people and decided their prayers must be heard and yours are not. You have watched things work out for them and quietly concluded that you must be on the outside of something. But you are not on the outside. The same God who heard them heard you. Your prayer is not less heard because the answer is slower. The timeline is not the measure of the listening. The scriptures are full of people who waited long and were heard the whole time they waited. Being heard was never something you had to earn by praying well enough or long enough or with the right words. You were heard because the one you prayed to is the kind who listens, even to the prayers that break off halfway. So tonight, I am asking you to lay down a few things you were never meant to carry. Lay down the belief that no one was listening. Lay down the shame of having prayed the same prayer so many times. Lay down the fear that the silence meant you had been rejected. You were not made to carry the weight of feeling unheard. And tonight, you can set it down. And about all those prayers you thought I ignored, the ones you have held against the silence like evidence, hear this carefully, my child. They were not ignored. They were heard and held, and they mattered. The scripture says it plainly, that the voice of your prayer was attended to. Attended to means listened to, means taken seriously, means not brushed aside. You were never talking to an empty room. You were never praying to a closed door. So lay down the idea that your prayers fell to the floor. They never did. If these words have stirred something in you, you do not need to do anything dramatic. You do not owe anyone a comment to make this real. You do not have to prove your faith to a stranger. But if you would like, take this quiet moment and turn it into one honest prayer. It can be as simple as this. Lord, I felt unheard. Help me to trust that you were listening all along. There are no perfect words for this. The scriptures show people heard in their groans, their whispers, and their prayers too broken to finish. Your honesty is enough, It always was. And if someone comes to your mind right now, someone who has been feeling unheard tonight, you are welcome to share this message with them. Not as a chain and not as a demand, just as a kindness, the way you would hand water to someone who is thirsty. Now, here is one gentle but important reminder, and I will not rush past it. Faith is a deep comfort, but it is not a replacement for care. If you are struggling with your health or your mind or a situation that feels too heavy to carry alone, please also reach out to a doctor, a counselor, or someone you trust. Hope and help were always meant to walk together. Asking for support is not a failure of faith. It is wisdom, and it is brave. And before we come to the end, let me ask one simple thing of you. Do not stop bringing your prayers to me. I am not telling you the answer is suddenly arriving tonight. I am not handing you a date or a promise wrapped with a bow. I am telling you what faith has always whispered to the weary, that you were heard, and that being heard is reason enough to keep speaking. You have prayed through every hard season so far, and you were heard through every one of them. That was not luck. That was the one who attended to the voice of your prayer over and over, even on the nights you felt most alone. And the same one who heard you this far is not about to stop listening now. So when the answer is slow, keep praying. When the silence feels long, keep praying. When you cannot see what your prayers are doing, bring them anyway, and know that they are heard. So as this message comes toward its close, I want to leave one truth in your hands to carry into tomorrow. You were never praying into nothing. Let the words of the 66th Psalm settle over you one more time. But verily God hath heard me. He hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Whatever this season has taken from you, the silence you felt was not the final word over your prayers. The voice of your prayer was heard and attended to, and it was never lost. I will not promise you a date. I will not promise you the answer you have pictured. I will not pretend to know the things that only God knows. You have been handed enough empty promises, and I will not add to that pile tonight. But I can leave you with what the scriptures say with full confidence. You were heard. The voice of your prayer reached the one who made you. And the silence you feared was never absence. So lift your head tonight, not because every answer has come, but because you now know you were never speaking into the dark. Take one more slow breath now, and let this be the truth you fall asleep on. You were heard. You are heard. And you are loved. If messages of hope like this one bring you peace, you are always welcome to stay close to this quiet corner of the internet, where we simply sit with the scriptures together. And wherever tomorrow takes you, whatever prayer you are still carrying, may you carry it knowing the one who made you has heard every word. Peace be with you, my friend. Rest now.